Extruding geometry is something you'll be doing a lot of when you're modeling. You can extrude using a cube or any shape that gives you polygons or faces, and you can also extrude a spline using an extrude operation. Let's go ahead and do a cube first, just to show you. I'm going to go ahead and actually make this geometry, and as usual, I'll go ahead and put my lines on so we can see what's going on. I'm going to go to my polygons mode here, and I'll choose this polygon. I'll move over a little bit, and I'll head over to my mesh menu, and I'm going to choose create tools and tear this off. So you can see we have this extrude tool here. I'll go ahead and choose it by clicking one time, and I'll simply move this geometry. Now you'll see that when you click on the extrude tool and you try to move it, it's not actually going to shift or extrude yet, because your cursor actually changes to let you know that you have to do one more thing first. You have to click on the actual polygon. So look at my cursor here. It has the extrude tool on it. So watch this. I'll click one time. And now when I click, I now have a loop that goes around that shows that I actually extruded the geometry. The tool will stay put until I close it or turn it off. So when I click on it again and extrude, it's ready to go. I'll hit the spacebar to drop that tool, and I'll choose a different polygon. Let's grab this one. Extrude, click, and there we go. As you can see, this is really the building block or blocks when you're creating more complex shapes. I use this all the time, whether I'm building organic shapes or not, because don't forget you can always add a smooth modifier to make this look nice and soft. For example, I'll go ahead and grab a subdivision surface. I'll drag my cube into it, and now we have a softer version of this. And this is really how you create your organic characters. All right, they all start out boxy. I'll go ahead and turn that off by going to the Objects Manager and making this guy here the red X. I'll turn it back on again, and you see we have a subdivided surface. I'll go ahead now and close all this, and I'm going to show you now how we could do the same thing with a shape or a spline. So I'll grab the star. And then with the star in my scene, I'm going to go ahead now and add an extrude modifier. And just like before, I'll drag the star until it's a parent-child relationship that we have here. So extrude will be the parent and the star will be the child. And if I zoom in here, we see that we have an extruded shape. Now, if you go to the object properties, you see we can change the inner radius and the outer radius. So we never really lose control of our shape. If I go to the extrude itself, we have some coordinates we can change as well. So we can change one thing called caps. As you see here, we have this shape that seems to be stretched out or skinned across our original spline. Well, if I go to the cap option and choose none, and I go to the end cap and turn those both off, we can now see through our object again. And we've simply extruded the actual star shape. I'll go ahead and put those back on. And by the way, you can also change it to a fillet cap. You can try all kinds of cool stuff here. So I'll put a fillet cap on both sides here. All right, so we have a fillet cap. We have a fillet cap on this one. And now we have a nice bevel. We can also go to other options, so we can name it if we want to. We can change the coordinates. We can go to the object category, and we can increase the movement, okay, on different coordinates. And we can go ahead and take this guy here and extrude it even further. All right. So as you can see, you have lots of options available to you. And you always retain the ability to go back to the star shape itself and change those properties to get the shape you're looking for. This is really good when you want to create things like bolts, for example, if you're creating a robot. All right. So that is a look at how you can use the extrude tools to take geometry that's existing in your scene and adding to it by making it a little thicker, adding a nice bevel, and dividing your geometry up to create organic shapes as well by adding a nice subdivision surface.